and welcome to episode 5 of the Gungeon in the Gungeon. I'd like to say thanks for the likes and subscriptions that you have given. If you can continue to do that, that would be great and help an old man out. And sorry guys if I repeat myself sometimes, just happens. Anyway, today I like to talk about pocket pistols. I had the other day, I was in a store and I was doing some shopping, and I was in one of our local gun stores, and I had met one of the people that live in my community, and they had asked me what would be the best weapon to carry, when they're out or wherever they be, for him and his wife. Well, I kind of said I really can't answer that question for you due to the fact that, it's all by feel. It's all by comfortness. It's all by how you want to carry your weapon. So I kind of showed him a few of them that were in the case. And, he proceeded to look at a few of different ones. Smith & Wesson was one. Taurus was one. He looked at some Rugers. And, he had asked me, myself, what do I carry? And, I kind of explained to him what I carried, and told him about it. And I'm getting ready to talk about it here in a second. But I told him that you really, really need to have your wife with you and her feel a gun, just as you're feeling the gun. Because I've had a couple of guys at work that have bought weapons for their wives. They take them home and their wife says that they're either too heavy, they can't work the slide good, it's just very uncomfortable for them. And they end up either keeping the gun for themselves, or it gets put in a safe. Like one of the guys at work told me that he bought one for his wife and he just stuck it in the safe because she doesn't like it. And he really feels itself that it's too light for him and it's not enough. So, folks, you really want to feel a gun, and there's some of your local gun stores. And, here in Tampa, we have a few gun stores where you can actually go inside, rent yourself what you pick in the counter, inside the counter. You can rent them actually. Yeah, it might cost you $5 or $10 to rent it, plus the ammunition, but at least you're getting a feel. Now, there is one place that we have here that actually has a big giant circle in it. And in this circle, they have different weapons from 380s, 9mm, 40s, 45s. And you can actually pick the fake firearm up and kind of feel it and see how it feels in your hand. And, if you would like it, and if you feel it'd be too heavy, too bulky, you can actually feel it and just see. So anyway, getting back to what he was asking me, and I was explaining him that situation, and then he, like I said, had asked me what I carry. Well, I had mentioned that I carry, as a little compact pocket gun, the Ruger LCP2. It's a centerfire 380. It comes with the Ruger serrated grips, as you can see. It's 6+1 ambidextrous in the chamber. As you can see, it's easy. Over the barrel length of it alone is, I think, 2.75, I think, is the barrel length. The overall length of the whole pistol itself is, I think, like 5.2 or something to that weight, something to that nature. I mean, also, it weighs anywhere from, I think it's 2 to 3 ounces, guys. I'm not too sure. It is very, very light. The trigger on it, very simple, as you can see. For me, it's somewhat easy to do. For some people, I notice, like my wife and a friend of hers, it's not as easy to operate the slide. It's a little tough for them. But for me, it's actually not bad at all, And like I said, it's got the ambidextrous clip release. Sometimes it is a little hard to engage it back, but for the most part, it's actually pretty easy to handle. I actually took this to the range, and I was about, I think, I want to say maybe 15 to 20 feet away. And I actually put everything in one little small grouping. I shot all 6 of them, plus the one that was in the chamber, and I grouped them pretty good. It was kind of all in one little area there. So it is pretty accurate. And like I said, it's light, easy to conceal. Either if you wanted to put it in your pocket, behind your back, if you want to wear it as an ankle You could. I mean, the gun overall is actually a very nice, light, and for what you're paying for it, which isn't expensive at all, it's a very nice and clean gun. It's got integral front and rear sights, which is a good thing too. You can change them out, or if you wanted to, but most people don't. Now, like I said, this is the LCP2. They do make the LCP1, which is a little bit different than this one, but this is the LCP2. Yeah. So, enough said about that right now. So, getting back to what I was talking about with being with some of the senior citizens that I know, and being with a certain person inside of the gun store, he started to ask me a bunch of different questions about certain things, and I was with him there, and like I said, we pulled out a few different firearms, and I told him, well, like I said to you before, don't buy anything for your wife. Let her actually, come with you and feel and touch a gun and see if she's comfortable with it. Well, one of the worst things that I noticed that he did, and this is where, guys, you really, really have got to take either a course or learn gun safety. Because one of the things he did was when he handed one of the firearms back to the sales associate, he handed it to him pointing at him. That's a no-no, guys. You know that there's nothing in the clip. You know that there's nothing in the chamber, but you have got to get used to not that is the worst thing you can do, is hand somebody a gun with the barrel straight aiming at them. That you don't do whatsoever. So it's kind of like I told him, I said, look, you need to get a little bit of, learn some gun safety. If you can, even though we don't require it here in the state of Florida anymore, but get your concealed carry permit. You'll learn a little bit in the class. You'll learn a few little techniques that they have. So we started to continue again, and then as I'm talking to him, other people are listening, and they're seeing what I'm doing, and they start asking me a bunch of different questions too on what they should carry. And I don't mean to down semi-automatics, because I like my semi-automatics, but a revolver, guys, you'll never go wrong. As you saw in the first video, I have a multiple amount of revolvers. I love a revolver. You're never going to have a jam at all. They're very easy to operate. Hell, they're easy to clean. They're the most easiest firearm I've seen to clean in a long time. And I've ran through my Smith & Wesson featherweight multiple rounds. And I think I probably ran a good 100 rounds, and I still didn't clean it. And ran again another 50 rounds, and it was fine. It was perfect. That was my carry gun for a long time. Now, of course, I switched to the Canon TP9 Elite SC 9mm, just because it's actually a lightweight semi-automatic firearm itself. I've had really good luck with it. I've never had any problems with it. It's done a great grouping at 50 yards, actually, which is wild, but at 25 to 50 yards, the gun was really, really accurate. But anyway, getting back to that conversation, I kept talking to them and talking to him, and we kept going over things, and then he wanted to know what the best home defense weapon would be. And I said, well, I would tell anybody this, and I explained it to him. To me, the best home defense weapon, yeah, you've got AR-15s, you've got all kinds of stuff, but to me, a 12 gauge shotgun, guys, you can't go wrong. A 12 gauge, when somebody hears that click on a 12 gauge shotgun, they automatically want to run, because that noise is an unforgiving noise. It scares a lot of people off. It has scared people that I've done it to before. They were freaking out like, whoa, but it scares a lot of people off. And if you can see, I've got a multitude of them actually, but I have one here that I use a lot, and that's a Savage Arms tactical shotgun. I love that gun, but to me, a shotgun, you don't have to aim it. All you've got to do is point it in that direction, and guys, you are going to do some serious damage. And I've heard just recently of two people not far from, maybe about 5 or 10 miles away from me, where somebody got their houses broken into while they were sleeping, and they were broken in at gunpoint, and they had nothing to protect themselves with. Now, if the person would have had a shotgun and they kicked in the door like that, that would have been it, guys. All you do is just point that and just shoot, because boy, is it going to do some damage. Some really bad damage. Through doors, through windows, whatever it might be, nothing is going to stop a shotgun. And if it does, then you know what? Throw the shotgun at the person and run like hell. Because if that doesn't stop them, there's an issue there somewhere. That man is either He-Man, the Hulk, or somebody really, really crazy or hyped up on drugs. But anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for liking and subscribing to my channel. If you can continue to do that, that would be great. Have a wonderful day, and peace out from the Gungeon. Until next time, see ya. Oh, and one more thing. Don't forget to check out A Guy's View on YouTube. They're two guys that talk about a bunch of funny, weird topics, and they just don't stop. And they also got a sports little cast that they do too on certain days of the week, so tune into them. Great group of guys to be able to listen to, and very entertaining. Thanks, guys, and peace out as always again from the Gungeon.